Well, the show is titled Noli Timere, which means don't be afraid. And my role is as the artist and sculptor. It is a collaboration between 8 live dancers and a giant sculpture which they inhabit and itself becomes a dancer. It makes visible the shifting relationships and symbiotic entanglements of all of us in this complex, interconnected world that we live in. There are 8 live dancers that are moving through all the different levels of the sculpture. And as they move, their weight shifts, and the sculpture, the world that they're in, shifts in its form as well. For backstage, people are manipulating the sculpture like a marionette. 8 living, moving forces and their mass are not only changing the shape, when all 8 of them come to this side, that weight changes completely every part of the sculpture. And that is what it is exploring, is this kind of constant flux, how each movement that we make has some repercussion. This is some of the most challenging work because they are pulling their bodies up. I mean, what's so exciting for me is when you see maybe there's a dancer on the top layer interacting in a kind of duet with someone holding on. It's gravity. Our bodies are functioning. You can see that palpable force. Just to stand straight and not move is immensely difficult in a net. So it's like the struggle to do nothing is in fact becomes palpable and compelling. When you walk on the beach, when the sand gives way, you get a sense of just like how hard even the most natural movements like walking can be. This dance sculpture collaboration explores that struggle. So my art studio had to become a technology innovator because in order to build these forms that I design at the scale of buildings or the scale of worlds for humans to dance in, we need to be able to model those and analyze them in terms of the engineering forces that are at play so that they're safe. The inspiration for this piece was my own search for what it means to live in a world where I'm not in control of so many of the foundational forces shaping my life. The planet, the weather, the politics, things that are greater. And as this world is shifting, how can I move through it? How do you find grace? How do you find the most elegant path? And how do you approach it without fear? I mean, there's this sense of emotion that it calls forth. People talk about a kind of catharsis, like the gripping nature of watching these human beings moving in these dramatic ways. I think it's got a kind of arc that brings you to a different place by the end. I'm Janet Echelman. I'm an artist, and I'm inviting you to come see a new original show that brings sculpture at the scale of a world that dancers inhabit and move in. It's called Noli Timere. It opens January 29th and runs through February 1st, and I hope you'll join me at the Cutler Majestic Theater in Boston.